Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Was Rick Pitino after a 1-point loss at Creighton today for St. John's. Okay, Rob, your reaction to first off, that was a wild finish, and there was a debate at the end if there should have been a foul call as Danish Jenkins went up. Creighton wins, but Rob, your reaction to Rick Pitino's post-game comment.
It's Rick Pitino being Rick Pitino, man. I hear what he's saying when it comes to he's won multiple national titles, he's made multiple Final Fours, he's coached in the NBA. Pretty sure he won like a title in Greece when he was out there, right? Like getting these moral victories and being able to say, oh, you're little old St. John's, you haven't been good since 1999. You go on the road to Creighton, who's this juggernaut and top 15 team and playing for Big East titles and Elite Eight last year, and you give him a hell of a fight and good job, St. John. Like, I understand why he's like, that's not us anymore, man. That's not me. That's not what I do. I win. He's got the mindset of a winner. He's got that winning pedigree, however you want to phrase it. So I did enjoy that. I also enjoyed him making sure to take a swipe at somebody up in stores again.
That's
we
what I
don't
want
need
to get into.
Yeah, we can go over this as much as you want, but I love that this is becoming a thing where these two guys are going back and forth. Because I will tell you this, I still think Creighton is a good team. I think that they are good enough to be a second weekend team. I think they are good enough to be a Big East champion, whether that is in the Big East tournament, whether that's even a Big East regular season title potentially. I'm still in on Creighton being like the top 20-ish, top 15-ish kind of team that I don't know if a lot of people are still there. But St. John's is really damn good, and they are only going to get better as they continue to figure out what's going on with this defense and this offense that they run, as they continue to give more minutes to RJ Lewis. Is it Lewis or Louise? I've heard it pronounced both ways by announcers this year, and I've gotten it's Lewis, RJ Lewis. And
I told him this the other night. He doesn't want to listen to me, Fanta.
No, it's one of those things where like now every time I say it, I think I'm getting it wrong because I got it wrong once, and it's just stuck in my head, and I'm always gonna. It's bad. I think about stuff too much.
You're gonna get it. It's like
getting
Eleanor Baldwin Arena.
Yeah, exactly. If I could say that 7 times fast, then I can say RJ Lewis. No, but I just think his presence defensively changes things. You got guys buying into what they want to do. You got shot makers, and you got Joel Soriano, who's just this anchor at the rim. I think St. John's is really, really, really good. I think them and Seton Hall are both like top 25-ish kind of teams. I think they're teams that can make some noise when they get when they get to the NCAA tournament. So it's gonna be a fun Big East. And don't we have Seton Hall St. John's coming up here this week?
Tuesday night, 8:30. Yep, from the Prudential Center.
Fun.
Okay.
So this
is what I wanted. Yeah, buckle your seatbelt. Probably the biggest game in Newark in several years. So, okay, I want to get Goodman's reaction to this because Pitino, he's not doubling down. He's not tripling down, Jeff. He is quadrupling down on the new feud. The biggest coaching feud in college basketball is Rick Pitino versus Dan Hurley. We also have this sound of Pitino on not criticizing officials.
They're three good refs. When you play the game, blame refs. I literally watch every game, and I say the refs make about 10 to 12 mistakes for us and against us. But refereeing basketball is really, really difficult. Those three guys can flat out ref, but every game I see mistakes, and for both teams, because there is no perfect game by referees, and there's no perfect game the way we play. Those three refs, I don't have a problem with them at all. They're excellent refs. But I'm not going to blame a referee on a call. Never going to do that. People who do that.
Okay, people who do that, he basically said are cheaters. Goodman?
Yeah, I mean, he continued and said, I think it's a form of cheating when you're trying to get calls in every play and cursing at the referees and citing the crowd. Clearly a shot without saying Dan Hurley's name. I do tend to agree with Rick on a lot of what he's saying about the referees, though. They're human. They make mistakes. Generally, it equals itself out, right? Generally, for the most part, yeah, Kansas is going to get more calls at Allen Fieldhouse, and Duke's going to get more calls, certainly when Kay was at Cameron. But for the most part, I agree with Rick here, and here's what I'll say. I love this because I remember 15 years ago or so, Cal and Rick were going at it, the Kentucky-Louisville thing when it was at its high point, and they were going at it publicly. They had no problem taking shots at each other, and it was a blast. Like Cal would say something, and I would literally text or call Rick, and he would come right back, and he didn't give a shit. He would just go right back and fight back against Cal, and they would go back and forth. And it was a blast. It was fun. I mean, it was like two teenage kids that couldn't help themselves. And it's good to see that Rick hasn't really grown up.
He's the same guy. He's not going to change. He's not going to change for anybody. And this is fun. This is why when he got hired by St. John's, we said this is interesting because it's New York. And now that the New York beat people are traveling with St. John's, so all of his remarks are getting covered to the nth degree. Yeah. But Jeff, beyond that, you tweeted earlier, St. John's is now the team that nobody wants to play. Why?
Yeah, because you're giving Rick Pitino time. They don't have a star. Like Soriano, like Rob said, he's an anchor down low, but he's not a star you're building around. Dennis Jenkins is a nice player. He took a couple Ivy League guys that really haven't probably paid their worth in NIL, but they've been solid. RJ Lewis has been a great spark since he's come back healthy, but they're not uber talented. But again, if you give arguably the best coach in the planet, as far as college basketball is concerned, time and experienced players and enough talent, he's going to find a way to make them dangerous. And it took maybe a little bit longer than some thought, but we honestly, that's our fault. We thought Rick was going to just snap his fingers and right away this team was going to come out of the gates and be great. And it's it takes longer when you got that many new dudes. And Soriano's been there, but he never played for Rick Pitino. And playing for Rick Pitino, trust me, it's a little different than playing for Mike Anderson in that system.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.